Hello, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited for this video because I get to just talk about the fact we're going back to Disney, where we're staying, how long we're going for, what we're going to be doing, where we're going, etc, etc. I did try and film this morning, but my camera cut out. I recorded loads and it just recorded 1 second in the end, and then the battery died. So we've recharged the battery, I've been out, I'm back. We're probably going to lose light, so let's do this quickly. On my Instagram you'll know that we are going back to Florida and we are going back next month, which I'm just so excited. We've never had such a low, like short, whatever, countdown. Like we've always booked like 18 months a year in advance and had the big countdown, time to pay it off, etc, etc. But we just booked it. We booked it last week. We're going back. Can't wait. I asked on Instagram for questions. I've thrown them in this notebook. This notebook is one of my favourites. It's a Papier one. It is a 10 out of 10. It's so annoying they don't do like a Disney collaboration anymore, and I've nearly finished this, so it's going to be an upsetting day when I do. But let's go through questions. I feel like I want to give some background to the trip because I'm getting a lot of when are you going, which is fair. We go next month, June, and we've never been in June before. And after talking to quite a lot of people before we booked, we realised that's probably our cut-off heat wise. So yeah, we are going back in June. Other questions have been kind of why so soon, why are you going back, why have you not booked on the offer next year, etc, etc. So let me give you, I guess, like a bit of background and like our thought process as to why we're going next month. So without going into too much detail, because that's just life boring crap, we've had a really hard start to the year. It's been an absolute roller coaster from probably like just before Christmas until, I mean, very recently, and still, to be honest. So it's just been, yeah, a hard old year. There's been some obviously really good things, like we went to Vegas and got married, we went to Disneyland straight after that, but there's all, equally, as always with life, just been some challenges. So with that, we just feel like we need a holiday, like plain and simple. We want to go on holiday. We could go for like a week in Spain, we could do a city break, but we really want to go back to Disney. That's what we're doing. In March, I got made redundant along with quite a few people in the business, and it's given me freedom because I have at this crossroads as to whether I go back into 9 to 5 and have an offer on the table, or I go freelance. Instagram props me up a little bit in terms of like money, and I knew I had some savings behind me to give it a good go, so that's what I decided to do. It has meant that obviously I have this newfound freedom that I've just never had because I've worked since I was 16, I've had annual leave, like constraints, having to get a manager to sign it off, and normally last minute annual leave has been like a no. When I floated the idea to Nick of like, let's just go to Disney for a week, he was very much like, whoa, I've just started a project at work, because I was like, let's go in May, let's go. He's like, no, I've just started a project at work, I am really busy, and he's been doing so many hours, and which is why I also feel like we need this trip. So I did try and call upon my sister, who 9 times out of 10 is up for anything, but she has a gig. The week that I wanted to go, she had this very important gig and she just was like, no, I'm not going. And I'm kind of glad that didn't happen because I had offered to pay, and now I look at, you know, savings and stuff, and I'm like, could probably do with not paying for 2 people to go to Florida. At the time I'd priced up like staying off site and all that kind of stuff, so it wasn't actually a bad price, and it was a really good deal for this like 1 week, but it did not happen. Nick had severe FOMO, had a few questions on like, how did you persuade him? I think he simply just was like, if you're going out there and I'm not coming, like I'm gonna be so jealous. So he managed to get a week off work, so we're going for a week, and yeah, we had to wait till June because of this project he's kind of leading at work. So yeah, that is, I guess, like the background. Plain and simple, we're going because we want to go. A few people have said like, what's the pull? I can't believe you're going back there again. And I just see it as like, I mean, I grew up with people who used to go to Spain in the same hotel twice a year and no one bat an eyelid. You know, I know people who go back to Dubai 2-3 times a year, so I don't understand why there's these questions for people that go to Disney of like, what makes you go back there? Well, Tom, hun, you've been to Spain, the same hotel, 10 times in the last however many years. Why do you do that? Who cares? Like, I just don't give two shits, really, what other people do with their time, what holidays they go on, how much they spend, what they do with their money. It's none of my business. But I guess the nice answer, or the polite answer, is because we want to go back, and the pull for us is, I don't want to sound cliche because I feel like I'm gonna vom even saying this, but I guess it's like the Disney magic. It's a bubble. I feel like we both feel really happy. We've had 3 amazing trips to Disney World together. I mean 3 only trips to Disney World. I never went before then. And we've always had the best time. We just love it. I think that gives context or answers that kind of question, probably in a very waffly way, but essentially we're going back next month and I can't wait. So let me give you like logistics stuff. Main question was where we're staying. I mean, I love to know, like, on-site, off-site, where are you staying? I need to know the details when anyone books a trip. So we're actually staying on-site at, guesses, Pop Century. That's where we stayed in September, and we both just fell in love with it. Skyliner for us is just a win. Like, being able to get to Hollywood Studios and Epcot so quickly is just the dream. The resort itself is like a decent size, so you're not trawling miles. Like, we stayed at Caribbean Beach and that was just like, everything was miles apart. I feel like with Pop Century it's all just nice and close together. Food court's decent enough, there's a shop, like, get your little fix on your Disney merch, that kind of, and it changes very quickly, I find, with the resort shop. So like, every day when I go in I'll be like, ooh, something new there. And yeah, Skyliner is a win. The rooms are like recently refurbed, really nice, comfortable. It's just everything we want. Like, we love it. We're going for a week, have I said that? But that was another really, really common one. And who we've booked with. So, breakdown of like everything, I guess. TUI is who we've booked the flight with and the hotel. So we're flying from Manchester to Melbourne, or Orlando, Melbourne, Orlando, I don't know. We did do that in September and had no issues. It is a little bit further out than MCO, so just one to consider if you're looking to fly there, but for us it's just considerably cheaper. Our park tickets have of course come from Attraction Tickets. I've been working with them for the last 6 months. We were a customer last September. Their customer service is great. They have very kindly comped my like park ticket, which is just the most amazing thing. And of course that will be disclosed across content and stuff that you see. We bought Nick's ticket for Attraction Tickets. And then another question actually, which flows quite nicely, was, are we doing anything we've never done before? And I guess the fact it's in June, we've never been in June, we've only ever been in October, or September, October and February, which would recommend all of those, by the way. It's a week, which we've never done, but given that we've just been in September, I thought we'd give it a go. I've seen a lot of people going for a week and they seem to really enjoy it. In terms of tickets, we are doing, and I'm so excited, the Typhoon Lagoon H2O night thing. So last night Nick was doing a little Google of like what's on in June, because we were looking at the Epcot, you know, like on the stage opposite the American Pavilion. He was looking at what's on, and we were having like, oh, that's on, great, we'll go to that, blah blah blah. And I think he got into a bit of a rabbit hole and he was like, oh, the Typhoon Lagoon H2O things, and I was like, stop, are they on? Because we need to go. So yeah, I hadn't realised they were on, so we bought those on Attraction Tickets last night. Typhoon Lagoon is one of our favourite places. I think because you just get to chill and you can do, I mean, in any of the parks you can do as much as you want, but Typhoon Lagoon, we just love it. We love the big wave pool, we love the lazy river, and when Nick was like, I want to go, let's book it, he was very much like, is this a chill trip? And I was like, yes, we will go to Typhoon Lagoon. I was like, I know what you're asking me, and yes, we will. So yeah, we're doing a morning there, or kind of like a day there, and then we've got kind of H2O night thing. It looks fun. You get like popcorn, I think it's popcorn, ice cream and drinks, and like soft drinks and stuff. included. Obviously it's open later, less people there because they don't sell out full capacity, so I'm really looking forward to that. Another ticketed event we're doing that Attraction Tickets are very kindly comped us the tickets for is the Epcot After Hours. Is that what it's called? I think it is. Epcot After Hours, and I guess it's a similar premise to Typhoon Lagoon. The rides are open, you get your popcorn, ice cream, drinks, that kind of thing, and you just get, I think it's 3 hours extra in the park. So I will definitely take you along on, well, the whole trip, obviously, you know, but those specific events, because I think, yeah, it's, I'm so keen to kind of let you know whether we think it's worth it and like what we enjoyed, maybe what we didn't. So they're the kind of new things, and that's all the ticket information, I think. Last one on tickets is Universal. We are not doing on this trip. A few people asked whether we were. Every other trip we've been on has been 2 weeks and we've done Universal and we've loved it, but with it being a week and like the Disney bubble, we decided not to. I'm a bit sad, but we're gonna have a week at Disney and it's gonna be amazing. The last thing logistically is car hire, which to some people is not exciting. I love hiring a car when we go to Orlando. I feel like it gives us the freedom to be like, should we go to Walmart, should we go to Target, Cheesecake Factory, like where do you want to go, without having to get an Uber or Lyft. Nick, luckily, is a really confident driver and actually prefers driving in the US to here, which is mad. You would not catch me getting in a car the other side of the car, the other side of the road, just a no. But he is. So on our last trip we hired a car. Well, we weren't going to hire a car because it was so expensive, but as we got close to the time we got a really good price, so we hired it for 10 days as like across the 14. So we flew in to the airport, got the 2-way transfer, which is fine, by the way, it's just quite long, from Melbourne airport, and picked the car up from, like, I think it was a hotel outside Disney Springs, and then we did the same for drop off. This time, however, we've priced up on, I want to say it's like Discount Florida Car Hire. I'm gonna link it because they're really good. We used them last time, had no issues. In fact, the staff was so lovely. We've used them again and we're having it from the airport and drop off at the airport, and I'm just really excited because our flight actually gets in slightly earlier than we ever have done. So if we can get through security quickly, get our bags, get the car, and you know, get out and straight to where we want to go, I'm just really excited. Big question which I am really excited to answer is, are you vlogging? I have never vlogged a Walt Disney World trip. I was tempted to vlog it in September, but I think because we hadn't been back since COVID, I just really wanted to be like 100% in the game, enjoy every last detail without having to worry about my camera. We all know I did so many reels, TikToks, I mean stories, everything, and I will do that again, but I don't know, I really wanted to vlog this trip, especially with me kind of resurrecting the YouTube channel. I think it just like is the right time. We're unlikely to go back to Disney for a while. We've had like a good old adult chat and it makes me a little bit upset, but we're definitely not going next year. Potentially 2025, which sounds so far away. And I think when you're seeing so many people go, like on Instagram, it just, like, I'm so happy for them and I love consuming that content, but it just makes me a bit like, oh, I wish it was me. So it is going to be, you know, a bit of a break for us, but I think it's probably needed, and I think that's why I really wanted to get this trip in, knowing that we weren't going to be doing it for a while. With that being said, I'd really wanted to vlog it. I've never actually watched any of my other vlogs back, but I just think it's quite special to, I don't know, I just really want to vlog it. The answer is yes, and I want to, just because I fancy it. Camera cut out, so I'm not actually sure what we go up to, but the next kind of question I've had is like, what are you most excited for? And honestly, I think it's just being back in like the bubble, that feeling. And you'll know if you've been, you'll know the first day feeling of like whichever park you go to. We always go to Magic Kingdom, of like first full day, the morning walking down Main Street towards that castle. I'm gonna have my little mango and dragon fruit cooler in one hand, my everything bagel in the other. I'm looking forward to it. Like, give me the heat, like us two together, just us, like I'm just so excited. Like, I'm most excited for, you all love Snack Chat as much as I do. The things that I'm really looking forward to, I just love a Mickey pretzel with like the plastic cheese. I really want a crispy treat. Even though I don't think they're like the nicest thing in the world, there's something about bringing them back home that they just hit different. So I'm looking forward to bringing some of them back home. I'm looking forward to going to Target and buying like just sugar cookies and like probably basic bitch stuff. I really want to go to Woody's lunchbox again. I absolutely loved that. We've booked Tusker House lunch. We've been there for breakfast but never lunch. That's the only dining reservation we've got booked, just because the food seems like really up Nick Street, and I'll eat some too. We all know I'm fussy, but it just, yeah, I think that'll be really nice. We've got one day at Animal Kingdom, which we'll probably break up with like maybe a couple of hours back at the resort, but we've booked in for like late lunch, early dinner at Tusker House. Honestly, I don't really know what other snacks, to be honest. I think I'm just looking forward to like having the option to have like whatever snack I want. Someone asked my ideal first day, and this is what we're actually doing on our first like full day. So Magic Kingdom is just one we've always gone to, and I don't think I'll ever change that. First full day to Magic Kingdom, you're jet lagged, so you get up really early anyway, you get there for extra magic time. Breakfast, Gaston's Tavern, that was one place last time we went in September that we both loved, and I think we ended up going there twice because the cinnamon bun thing with extra icing. I feel like always think of Emma when I go there and her being like, extra icing, get the extra icing. I will probably, I'm not gonna lie, have a Starbucks because I am basic, and we're just going to mooch around Magic Kingdom. And we did this in September, a few hours there. I actually think we'd left the park by like midday, and I think we went to Port Orleans, French Quarter. We had like, it was just nice, like refilled our drinks, and we went over to Disney Springs. But what I have planned is to come back to the resort, chill, freshen up, whatever, and then maybe even in the pool. We spent so much time in the pool in September and we loved it, so I think we'll probably do that. And then we're going to head out to Hollywood Studios pretty kind of late into the afternoon, like probably early evening, for Woody's lunchbox, because I am dreaming of the grilled cheese, the tater tots, the soup. I'm gonna have two sides. I don't care what anyone thinks, and I really want to watch Fantasmic. I've missed it so much. It was one of my favourite shows before the pandemic, and I'm so excited to see it again. So like I said, I asked on Instagram yesterday, so I'm just gonna have a quick look to see if there's anything like I've not really touched on that was kind of asked. Outfits, I need to see all your planning and outfits. So let me know below if you want like a packing video, pack with me. I watched is it Crystal Olivia? I'm terrible with people's names, but I'll link it below if I remember. Watch her pack with me whilst I was like pottering around, tidying up and stuff, and I really enjoyed like listening to it in the background. I do that with most YouTube videos. So let me know if it's something you want to see. I've never ever done one before or even thought of doing one, but I know they're quite popular. Outfit wise, I'm probably going to rewear a lot of the outfits from our last trip, and I've ordered some like Disney printed bike shorts and I'm very excited. So basically any outfits I'm planning on wearing, I'm probably going to create reels for, aren't I? Let's face it. It's like planning, Disney outfit planning reels. So Instagram, keep your eyes peeled, I'll link it below. One question on here actually, which I haven't seen, is can you wear the bag on the rides or do you need to store it? Now the bag, I was just thinking, I haven't actually got it next to me to show you. Usually it's like glued to me. It's a bag from Uniqlo that honestly I have worn pretty much every day since I bought it in, I want to say July or August. It went viral on TikTok, my sister got it and I was like, yes, you are heavily influencing me, and since I've got it I can't even tell you how many people have bought it since. We are all influencing each other with this bloody bag, and it is the best bag. It's a Mary Poppins bag, it fits so much in. I actually think when we went in September I did a reel of like what I pack in it for Universal, and it was so much stuff. I will link that bag below by the way in case anyone hasn't heard of it or hasn't got one. I mean, I talk about it so much. If you follow me on Instagram, if you've not heard of it, then I just don't know what to tell you. So can you wear it on the rides? Most Disney rides, I'm trying to think if there's any that you put things in lockers. I don't think there is, correct me if I'm wrong. You can put it in like the little baskety things on some rides. I don't tend to wear it, I tend to like put it between my feet and kind of like wrap it around my foot, so like if anything did happen it's still attached to me. At Universal you cannot take anything on, so you do have to put it in a locker. Someone has asked, would you consider buying a DVC contract? And actually on our trip in, I think it was 2018, I dragged Nick to a DVC meeting, and I was honestly ready to sign on the dotted line. I was like, sign me up, this sounds bloody great. And Mr. Accountant over there was like, no, we are not signing this right now. And he was so right. It's just not really for us. I don't think, like, never say never, I guess, but I don't think it's something we would consider. Maybe once we've got like a family and we want to go back more, and it's maybe if it's feasible, I don't know. Never say never. Last question I'm going to answer before I wrap this up is, what are your top 3 essential things to bring with you to Florida? My top thing, without a doubt, is like a rechargeable fan. I bought my fan from John Lewis. I think it was like £12. It's great, it's handheld, it's bloody wonderful. Boy, I'm pretty sure before the pandemic when I was living in London, and if you have been in London peak summer, it is sweaty, especially on the tube. And I was commuting from one side of London to the other, and I was like, I need a fan and I'm going to buy this fan. So I was on the tube, living my best life. I'd like sometimes stick it in here and just be like, oh my god, I'm so hot. And my skin, I think, to be honest, I think if I went to like a dermatologist, they'd tell me I've got rosacea, but it gets very, very red, and it's worse, 1, when I drink alcohol, but 2, just when I get hot generally. Like, I think sometimes, like, when it's hot, my whole face goes red. I think people probably think I'm going to pass out, but it's just my skin. So a fan is helpful. So you want a rechargeable fan. You can charge it up in the room every night or whatever, and the one from John Lewis is great. If it's in stock, I will link it below. Am I going to remember to link all the things I've said? Probably not, but I'll try and link it below. Nick actually has one from Amazon, which arguably is like just as good. That was only because we could not get the John Lewis one for love nor money when we were going last year. Last summer was hot. All these fans sold out, and yeah, we ended up getting one from Amazon, but like I say, it does the job. So a fan is number 1. Like, get a fan. Number 2, really obvious, a water bottle. I was gonna say, normally mine is glued to me as well. I have a big water bottle that I bought in America on our last trip from a brand called Simple Modern. And then when I went to Vegas, I actually bought a pink version as well, because I just love this bloody cup bottle so much. Fill it up in the parks. It is hot, the days are long, you're gonna need a water. And I think it's like $5 to buy a bottle of water in the park. So having your own, if you don't want to get it from the fountains, you can ask any quick service for ice water and just tip it all in your water bottle. So that would be a recommendation. Probably like very basic and like duh, but an essential. My 3rd essential for Florida is comfy outfits. Now, some people go and they are like dolled up, makeup, hair done, beautiful outfits, and I think you look amazing. Could not be me. Could not be me. The first thing I'm going to moan about is I'm not comfy, my feet hurt, like, oh. So last time we went, I predominantly lived in oversized Disney tees and bike shorts, and I have every intention of doing that again. So comfy clothing, footwear. So I go between bike shorts, big baggy t-shirts, and smock dresses. Smock dresses for me are just like flowy, like if I'm getting a bit hot, I can have a bit of a waft of them, get me fan out. And chub rub shorts. I've got big legs, they rub, it is horrific. So I always take chub rub shorts, normally from Snag Tights. Comfy footwear as part of this like comfy outfit, feeling comfortable, is probably the most important of everything, and I honestly think it will make or break your trip. I am prone to blisters. Like, it doesn't really matter what shoes I wear, my feet just don't, they're just not having it. Always have been that way, and it's so frustrating. So I always pack comfy shoes, not one pair but a few pairs. So on my last trip I alternated between a pair of trainers, a pair of platform Crocs, and my Teva sandals, and all 3 were pretty much a-okay. And because I alternate them and like the pressure points on my feet are different in each shoe, does that make sense? I don't know. I don't really wear them long enough to then to either consider rubbing, so highly recommend. So that is everything. We are going back to Disney World next month. I hope that gives you like a rundown. I feel like I give you the context, like the logistics, that we're vlogging it. Is that it? I don't know. The camera is cut out while I've been sat here 3 times, so we're probably going to be missing big chunks, but I'm going to patch it all together and we will roll with it. If you have any questions, whack them below, and I will hopefully try to remember to link everything I said I was going to link. But in the meantime, pop over to Instagram if you're not following me already, because I will be posting a load of content in the lead up, and do let me know if you want to see like maybe even like trying on potential outfits for Disney. Maybe we could make that into a video. Packing, I'm trying to think what else. Just let me know. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you fancy it, and I will see you in the next one.